What is going on, guys? My camera seems to be off. I don't know if you guys could see me or not. Let me know if you guys could see me or if it's just a blank here. Let me see if I could fix this. Can you guys? Oh, I guess it didn't go to my other. I guess it didn't go to my webcam, so we'll just deal with this right now, as long as you can hear me right now. Whew, whoa! Gotta say, this was a win for this WandaVision series. Just literally got done watching it. So how this is going to work, I'm going to just give you my little review on this, and then I will warn you guys, and then I'll go into spoilers because I bet you guys already seen this episode. You just want to talk and dive right into it. But before we get into the review, I want to let you guys know I'm doing another giveaway. This is the Colossus Funko Pop. So if you want a chance to win this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, number one. Number two, comment down below and put hashtag X-Men, and you got your chance to win this Funko Pop. And I will announce the winner at the end of the Winter Soldier and Falcon series. And then there you go, you're in a raffle. So let's briefly, this review of WandaVision episode 5, I thought was a home run. I thought finally, the box was opening up and we finally got to see what was inside that box, so to speak, metaphorically, kind of. But the episode was great. I thought the comedy worked when it needed to, and then when it switched to a lot of to this more sinister, we've seen this along the series, how it kind of switches to a different tone. It worked. This episode, it really, really worked. And I think what this episode did was do a great job of really focusing on the WandaVision relationship and really getting to know these characters more. And I thought that's what I wanted for the series, to really get us to care about the relationship between Wanda and Vision, and to really see Wanda as a character, because I think she's the most badass Marvel character that the MCU has. And I think this episode really showcases that. There's a lot of callbacks to this episode. There's a lot of characters that come in here, or newer characters, and then the old characters that we were with last episode, like Wu and Darcy, Monica. They all play like this pivotal part in the episode. This whole episode just opens Pandora's box, and I'm super excited. Everything really worked. I love the cheesy music in the beginning. It had that Growing Pains, Full House type just vibe to it. I thought the kids, WandaVision's kids, was their little. It's funny because they grow more in this episode, and that was a interesting. It was just, everything was very interesting in this episode, and there's so more. We learned a hell of a lot more. We learned a hell of a lot more in this episode. So overall, I think this episode was great. I thought they finally nailed it. I think they finally got me intrigued. I think they got a lot of people intrigued, especially after this episode. There's a lot to look forward in the last couple of episodes. And, this is what I wanted. I kind of wanted it earlier on in the series, but right now I'm super engaged. I'm super interested to see what happens next. And overall, the episode was great. So that's my formal review of WandaVision episode 5. The dynamic, the tone, the growth of the characters in this episode, they really knocked it out of the park. So if I had to give this episode a grade, I'd give it an A+. Now I'm going to move on to spoilers, because I think you guys who are watching, I think everybody watches this episode right when it comes on midnight, and you're ready just to talk about what the hell happened in this episode. And we're going to talk about it right now. You've been warned. Spoilers are ahead. Big things. Now, it's already been leaked. But in this episode, at the end, we'll go straight to the creme de la creme, the dessert, baby, the freaking banana pudding, whatever you want, whatever kind of dessert you like. So at the end of this episode, we get Evan Peters reprising his role as Quicksilver from the X-Men series that Fox owned. Now, how does this all work? You guys saw the episode. Basically, Wanda recasts her own brother. She recasts her own brother. I'll let you know right now. I'm not kind of digging that. I was hoping they would bring back the original Quicksilver with in the Avengers 2, was it Alan Taylor? And then like switch to Evan Peters as Quicksilver, but they just automatically just go, yeah, Wanda just recasted Quicksilver to Evan Peters. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Evan Peters as Quicksilver. I think he's way better than Wanda's version of Quicksilver. More charismatic, more charisma, jokes land. Like he is made for that part. But the way they kind of handled that recasting, yes, it makes sense. But then again, I'm kind of like, that was kind of a little bit forced. I thought it was a little bit forced. I thought it could have been, it could have transitioned a little bit more smoother. So I was very like, I loved it, but then I hate it. And I'm like confused by it. But overall, I like it because I love Evan Peters as Quicksilver. So that was interesting. So we got that out of the way. We got the elephant in the room out of the way. So let's go all the way back to the beginning. And I did love the Growing Pains Full House kind of vibe they had at the beginning. I was really charmed by this 90s aesthetic kind of TV show that Wanda was going for. This episode just opened a lot. That we finally get answered for all the questions that we kind of had. We find out she's taken the whole town, Westview, hostage, and she's just manipulating everybody. This episode really showcases how much of a badass Wanda is, aka Scarlet Witch, which is kind of funny because they play on like, you sure she doesn't have another name, another alias, because it's so corny, Scarlet Witch. But wow, I loved how they showcase how powerful she is. There's a lot of references in this episode. There's the Sokovia, was the Civil War thing going on. There's Captain Marvel gets mentioned in here, but the fact that they mentioned Civil War, they mentioned Wanda's past and what her yes, we're in spoiler territory. We're in spoiler territory. Just to let you guys know. So if you guys haven't seen the episode, go watch the episode. We're in spoiler territory. So man, that's what I wanted. That's all I wanted for the series, is to really recognize that Wanda is, in my opinion, the best female, or just overall best superhero, or in this episode it seemed like a menace to in this MCU. I freaking loved how they portrayed Wanda. And the good thing is they portrayed Wanda and Vision in their relationship. It's really growing. This episode really made me sympathetic to Wanda because she is controlling the whole town. She's controlling the whole town. These people are in like, they don't know what the hell's going on. It's like Monica's situation. She has the power to manipulate everybody to create this whole world. And Darcy calls it something, but I'm gonna call it the bubble. And she has this major power, and everybody's kind of confused because, like, did she have these powers before? But she taps into it. It's kind of like, reminds me of Akira, the anime, the manga Akira, where Tetsuo has so much power and he's unlocking a lot of these phases, and it just really reminds me of that. And Wanda is not stable. We find out too that she actually went and busted in and grabbed Vision's dead body, went to Westview, created this bubble, created the scenario, created the whole, just this happy family, which the kids go from like babies to 5-year-olds in this episode, then goes to 10-year-olds. So and I gotta say, like, Wanda looking fine as hell. I'm just saying, Elizabeth Olsen looking fine, and we finally get also the answer to her accent. Like, why does she doesn't have an accent in the series, but then she has an accent, outside, or now she has an accent outside the bubble, because there's one particular part. I'm getting ahead of I'm excited, guys. Like, I'm super excited. Like, this is what I wanted. This is what I wanted. I waited all this time. I was, it was getting a little bit predictable and stuff, and it is still, you kind of predict why everything was happening, but I think the execution in this episode was just on the money. I thought it was on the money. So let's get to some comments while I kind of calm down a little bit. Just just finish the episode and just oh man, so excited. So let's get to some of these comics. I'm blind as hell, so if I squint hard, let's just squint hard. Yeah, dude, only 5 people are watching. Yeah, but those are my 5 people, bro. Those are my 5 people. She is broken. She's in denial. Agnes being afraid of her. Yeah, the Agnes part. When Agnes kind of like says, "Can we redo the scene?" and Vision to me looked a little weird in this episode. He looked a little alien-like in this episode with his normal human face, even though that's what Paul Bettany looks like. But yeah, Agnes kind of like saying, "Can we redo it?" And Vision kind of catches on to that. That's the different kind of tone I'm talking about. That different tone really fit well in this episode, the back and forth, the Wanda television show, and then we see what Sword is up to. But Agnes being afraid, that's when I kind of got a little bit more invested because I want that horror aspect of Wanda. I want that. I want her. I could see her being the villain of Doctor Strange too. And they're setting all this up. And she does it so well. Elizabeth Olsen, kudos. She does it really, really well. And just the worried face of Agnes, and then the worried face of Vision, and then the whole dog fiasco and Agnes, finding a dog dead. Like it's everybody is afraid of Wanda. And in this episode, they consider Wanda a terrorist. So yeah, Agnes being afraid, and then now understanding what that conversation was with one of the neighbors. And Vision almost catching on, then that brings more light to the what's going on. So let's keep reading some questions here. I think she's always had power, and Mephisto showed her how to use it. Yeah, so a lot of people are saying Mephisto is in this is going to be in the series. A lot of people think it's Evan Peters, but of course we just saw that he's got recasted, and he's the Quicksilver that we know from the Fox X-Men Days of Future Past. Yeah, Days of Future Past, that god-awful apocalypse movie. But he could still be Mephisto. And when I think Mephisto, I think of Spider-Man and Mary Jane, and jeez, that comic book line. So let's keep going. Agnes and Mephisto going to war with Pedro. Does Agnes' confusion about Wanda's power mean she's not what the theories say who she is? Yeah, so I mean, is Agnes just a normal like towns person in there? But then how is she able? Well, not really, because how is she able to really get out of that? Like she knows what's going on, so she's gonna play. That's another mystery that we're gonna find out during or down the line of the series, especially with the introduction of Quicksilver. There's just so many now questions after this episode, and this is the hook. This is the type of episode that hooks you in and is gonna make you come and wait till 12 o'clock, even though you're ready to go to bed, and talk about it. This is definitely a water cooler kind of episode, and bravo. I was wondering why this isn't happening sooner, but I think I still think some of the writing and some of the episodes previous was not that great, but this episode really made me sympathize and maybe really like the relationship between Wandavision and where they're kind of headed towards all this, and makes me super excited how aggressive Wanda could be to Sword, because we'll talk about that in a minute. Let's get down to some of these comments. What do you think? Who do you think sent Quicksilver? That is true. Wanda said, "That's not me, Vision. That's not me. I didn't do the doorbell. That opens the door. Who the are you?" So Mephisto might be part of it. Agnes might be part of it. No clue, honestly. I'm just because I'm super confused how I thought the transition of just her. I mean, Monica says Darcy says she recasted her own brother. You're absolutely right. I don't think she did, because she was super confused of who Pedro. Like it was a very odd and weird scene and transition. So I'm hoping we'll see in the future. But I thought it could have been, I don't know, maybe they have a plan of why they did it that way, but I would have used the Wanda Quicksilver and then transition to the Evan Peters somehow. But it is what it is. There had to be doing something with it. Let's see. Agnes is playing to make Wanda think she's in control when Wanda is not the villain. That's very true. I mean, we've seen that in a lot of. I've seen that in a lot of TV shows, movies. This that could very well happen. Who do you think is Quicksilver? Is that Quicksilver from X-Men? Yes, it is. So Evan Peters is playing the Quicksilver from the Fox X-Men. I believe I'm 99% sure that's probably the version. I mean, it's him, and it's him. This was leaked actually, I think a week and a half ago. Andy Signor actually leaked this out, and then everybody else put the story out there too. So this was already leaked, and I'm pretty sure Kevin Feige was pissed on this leak. When she said who recast Pedro, it seemed obvious that they were making another, that he was not the same Quicksilver. Maybe in Doctor Strange 2, it's Strange and Wanda versus the Nightmare and Mephisto. Maybe, because I believe Sam Raimi is officially on the Doctor Strange 2 he's a director for Doctor Strange 2. So, and Sam Raimi goes bonkers on so much stuff. So I could see them really just going even more out there, because when they announced this new phase and they now, after Endgame, where do you go? You go a little bit more crazier, right? You thought Guardians of the Galaxy was crazy. This gets more crazy, especially with all the Spider-Man 3 news that's happening. So let's get back into the show. The one absolute scene I really loved was the fact that, okay, Monica finds a way to put a drone, I call it the bubble, in the bubble. And Wanda sees this and she is pissed because one of I forgot what his name is, but the one that's the head of the whole SWORD organization, he actually had a missile to launch at Wanda, and Monica did not intend that. So Wanda comes out of the bubble and throws this missile at everybody who's surrounding her. You got like the whole SWORD SWAT team. You had the head guy. You had Monica. I believe Darcy was there. Wu was there. And that's when you get the accent again. I'm like, fine. Okay, good. Great. She has the accent. I think we're all wondering that one particular, who cares about everything else? Where's her accent at? She has the accent. This was the scene I loved, because this is the scene where you saw the freaking, she stroked the fear of God in everybody. She had that look, and then when she's having her little surge going on in her hand, that really reminded me of Akira. That really reminded me of just this badass woman who we know helped the fight against Thanos and stuff. But you start looking at her the other way. You start looking at her like, can she be the villain? Like, can she be the villain moving forward? I would absolutely love that. Now, if you know the House of M storyline, you can see that it's absolutely there. She has so much power, and she's able to create this whole world that she has. She's able to have kids. There's no telling what she could do. She can bring the X-Men, whatever timeline, whatever, she can bring the Spider-Mans, whatever. She could be the key, and somebody else, of course, because there's another player in this game. Bring these guys in, and just seeing that one scene, and how I think the one scene that made me go, oh, was the scene where she's just bouncing, right? But she's like, you leave me alone, and I'll leave you alone. It's as simple as that. If you don't, and then she just uses her powers, and all the SWORD SWAT team just aims their lasers at the head guy. I forgot his name. At the head guy. And then they don't fire. Wanda leaves, and then they're back to their normal self. They're not being controlled anymore. That was a fantastic scene. That showcased the possibilities that we can move on forward. So that was a great scene that I loved. And then also the just Vision finding out like what the hell is going on, finding out, Wanda is controlling all these people, the message, then confronting Wanda. And the funny thing is that Vision has come, he can't remember what the hell happened in the past. Of course he can't. But it just reminds me of the comics, because he starts saying, I'm afraid. And I'm like, holy shit, dude, Vision's like has definitely, throughout the series, you see it, but the humanity is right there. And then when they're squaring off, It's so lovely because you're just getting this tension. You see where why Wanda is just heartbroken, why he stole Vision's body, why she created this utopia, and she wants a family. She wants to be with Vision, but Vision's like, listen, is there any more kids? There's no kids out here, Wanda. There's an empty park. Like this is a lie. This is a fake. What is going on? Vision is starting to really freak out here, and you start sympathizing with them with this being that shouldn't have humanity at all. This is an extension to Jarvis. So I mean, remember Jarvis? So seeing this, like watching this, my mouth is like, oh my God, this is great. This is what I want. This is what I wanted. The confrontation. I wanted one of these characters to grow more. I wanted to care when I go back and watch the movies, when I go back and watch the relationship develop in the movies. I wanted to care about that relationship. And I think this episode alone really made me care and makes me think about those movies and those interactions a little bit different in the light. Infinity War, they're sneaking away together. Now you kind of see why Wanda wants this, happy-go-lucky family, and why, she wants, she created this utopia. So fantastic, man. Fantastic acting all around. I mean, and like I said, I think the jokes really worked in this episode. Some were hit and miss, but overall worked out. The kids, the kids acting is kids. They're kids, all right. They're not Anakin from Phantom Menace. They're kids. They're doing all right. I thought it was kind of funny. She's like, don't you grow any older. You just got to accept that the dog died, which is kind of funny because, nail on the head. You can't accept that, Wanda. You're not accepting that these dogs are dogs, but Vision's gone and your brother's gone. I'm really digging that they're really referencing a lot of like Ultron, which he never gets referenced to. Like they're referencing these movies, but they're referencing the best references, except Captain Marvel. I'm sorry, I did not like Captain Marvel, but it seems like Monica Rambeau is pretty pissed at Captain Marvel. That was an interesting that was interesting as well. And then I know a lot of people want Darcy and Wu to have their own spin-off show. You know what? Yeah, I can see them actually hooking up. This seems like they have a little romantic kind of like will they or won't they kind of thing. Not yet Pam or Jim kind of thing, but it's there. It's slightly there, I believe. And I would like to see a Darcy and Wu show, even though I was not the comedy in the last episode was terrible. I thought it wasn't that bad here, but I could see them having like an X-Files kind of show, but definitely a strong supported cast with them. So yeah, I'm all for it. Why not? So let's get to the comments and let's if you guys have any questions or what you think you want me to touch upon, just go right ahead. Let's see. Vision went crazy. Oh yeah, the episode was a plus. It was a 10 out of 10. This is the episode that's gonna get everybody hooked, and everybody's gonna be talking. I think there's like 4 episodes left, I believe. So I think if people who have not watched it are gonna watch it just to get to this episode. I said in early on reviews that listen, you got to give shows at least like 5 episodes because Breaking Bad starts off slow if you think about it, but it's one of the greatest shows of all time, So, and then even like Game of Thrones had a hook at the first episode, but we're not going to talk about Game of Thrones. Never watch Game of Thrones if you've never seen it. Yeah, Monica's pants and then her shooting it all over the mines with no effort. You see, I mean, my question is, how strong is Kevin Feige going to allow Wanda to be? A lot of people saying that she's going to bring the X-Men involved. I don't think Fantastic Four. I think Fantastic Four is going to be naturally put in. Hopefully, Jim from The Office is Mr. Fantastic, and Emily Blunt is Sue Storm. So we'll see. I think she's going to be way more powerful in Doctor Strange 2. Now, is she going to be working with Doctor Strange 2 at that point? Or, I mean, this really leads a lot of questions to the end. Like, what the hell's going to go on after this? Watch the one in charge of the sword turn out to be Mephisto. Probably. I mean, I could see that happening. Like I said, this is a pretty predictable show. But what this episode did was the execution. I think the execution was the best in this episode than all the other episodes. A lot of Mephisto. I mean, how can he not be in here at this point, right? So, I mean, I'm pretty sure because there's another player in this game. It's not just Wanda. And then actually, so the funny thing is Steven, if you're listening, my buddy Steven, I don't really watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I tried to give it a go, but couldn't. But he watches Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He's seen all the episodes. And he says that, and there's another commercial in this episode, but he says that there's a hint in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that there was a commercial in one of the episodes of WandaVision where they hint at Hydra soap. And there's a hint in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. where they use brain manipulation, I believe, and it's a Hydra chemical that's kind of like in a bar soap. So the connections we'll see, but like Hydra definitely should and they mentioned Hydra in his episode as well, like how Wanda did work with them at one point. So is she working with some of these Hydra people? I mean, it's not a stretch. Falcon and Winter Soldier series is coming in, and watching this episode, it made me think like they might be tying it to that too. You know, they might be tying into that series as well. I mean, everything's going to tie in eventually. So let's see. The fact that the Quicksilver is different, I think it's proof that Wanda did not bring that Quicksilver. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just her surprise, I mean, was just on the money. Let's see. The fact that the Sword is not concerned about who Agnes is proves also that they sent Agnes. That's a good one. Because Agnes, yeah, she's like, she knows a lot. And she hid it from Vision. Like she kind of wanted to tell him, but she didn't in the one episode where Vision almost caught on. Was that last episode? I think that was last episode. So Agnes is somebody. She like I said, another player. But who is she? Is she Mephisto? I don't think Agnes is Mephisto. I think she's probably another character that they brought in from the comics. I've heard a lot of different kind of theories on that, but I don't think she's Mephisto. But she definitely, I mean, being sent by Sword, that's a big possibility right there. Let's see, the 50s helicopter. Let's see. I don't think that what the MCU wants. Kevin Feige did not want this leak. I can tell you right now, Kevin Feige did not want the Evan Peters leak. When he was cast, a lot of people were speculating that he'd be the X-Men Quicksilver or Mephisto. Still could be Mephisto. You know what? He probably could be Mephisto because I don't think Kevin Feige really wants the headache of the X-Men from Fox's property coming into the MCU, even though we want, some people don't want Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine. I think he had a good send-off in Old Man Logan, but you got to think like, dude, freaking Magneto, Xavier, like all these possibilities, like all these good castings from the Fox property. Yes, they had a lot of bad movies, but I think X-Men Days of Future Past is one of the greatest comic book movies ever done. The Sentinels were so terrifying in there. Ooh, Sentinels in the MCU, please. Yes, thank you. Yeah, it's interesting how Agnes was shocked about Wanda's ability to bring people back, but she isn't shocked about anything else. That is very true. That is very true too. So Agnes is the key to this. After we kind of now know what Wanda is doing, the one question is going to be Agnes. Who is she? Everybody's going to be talking about it. Everybody's going to have theories. Everybody's going to want to know who the hell is she? And then also the other question is, how did this Quicksilver came to be? Like I said, Monica said that Wanda technically recasted her brother, but she was very much in shock, so she probably wasn't the one that did it. Holy shit, what an episode, right, Alberto? Right? What a great episode. This brings my faith back into the writers and what they seem like they're going down this road. And like I said, I'm super excited because X-Men. So just real quick, I'm going to put another plug in here, or the first plug. If you guys haven't seen the beginning, just to let you guys know, I am giving a giveaway Colossus Funko Pop. So all you have to do is subscribe to this channel down below in the comment, or put in the comment section, hashtag X-Men, and then I will announce the winner at the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier series. It's like a raffle, so go ahead, subscribe, put down on the comment section, hashtag X-Men, and you have your chance to win a Colossus Funko Pop. So just give you guys a little plug right there. Let's see. I think I agree made defeat Mephisto series by watching the Wanda. I thought Evan Peters was gonna be an adult Speed. I don't want Hugh Jackman back as the story has complete, but I do want X. Yes. Oh, dude, X-23. I forgot her name, but the girl who played X-23 was, I thought she stole the show out of that movie. I thought she was the best part of Old Man Logan. Yes, like the ending of Logan was great, but X-23 in that movie was fantastic. Okay, so I actually have the episode playing on the side right here, just because I went right into this after I watched it. So, well, we're actually at the part where Darcy is, and then where Wanda meets Pedro or Quicksilver, Evan Peters. And yeah, Darcy's super confused right now, but so it's like a little bit of a live reaction, I guess. Elizabeth Olsen and her gear, though, yeah, definitely reminds me of Full House a lot, and that opening reminded me a lot of Growing Pains, a lot. And I think the shot with the ending shot when they're all together at the park, I think that's the back lot of Universal Studios. I could be wrong. When you take that studio tour and there's the clock from Back to the Future, I think it seemed like they filmed it there, some scenes there. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, she's totally in shock. But the way that Evan Peters just delivers those lines, man, it does bring me back to when Quicksilver was in the movies, and dude, he's such a fantastic Quicksilver. So, but the question is, how much is he going to be in the series? I mean, we still have like 3 episodes left, I believe. So how much of a part does he play in this? So it could be just Mephisto and him explaining like, yeah, Wanda, yeah, what's up? I don't know. We'll see. So let's see. I think the girl that played X-23 is Daphne. Yeah, it was Daphne something, and fantastic. Like she nailed it. And I love the scene with her and Wolverine when they're in the truck, and Wolverine's like, oh, what do you mean? And she's like speaking in Spanish, and then she speaks English, and he goes, know how to speak English? Like, he was so pissed off. But going back to the episode, I mean, this what else can I say about this episode? This episode did everything right. It did everything I wanted to happen. Monica Rambeau, she's still so I thought it was interesting how she said to Wanda, like, you trusted me, I was in there. You knew who I was, but you trusted me. I helped you birth your babies. So there's definitely going to be connection there down the line if Wanda's going to stop all this madness, she's going to need help from the outside. She's going to need a familiar face. One of them's going to be Monica. Monica, the whole examining her and, finding out that nothing was technically wrong with her, but the briefing that the guy had and said that why they consider Wanda a terrorist, it is terrifying because you see the clip of her just acting like not normal, not her normal self, and Wanda just manipulating so many people. And like I said, the power that she has right now is just bonkers, and I just want to see moving forward what that leads to, because you got Doctor Strange 2 on the way, and it's supposed to be the most maddening thing ever, right? Think Constantine, but in a Doctor Strange movie. I'm pretty sure they're still going to make it PG-13. There's no way they're going to make that one R, but we'll see. So it's funny, as I think in Quicksilver, I'm thinking like now Deadpool, because I always said that, what Marvel should do, Kevin Feige should do. So Stan Lee with all his cameos, let's get Deadpool cameos, all the movies, Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds as a cameo in the background, maybe munching on popcorn. He doesn't even have his mask up, Deadpool's cameos. Let's see. I don't think there's a alternate Mind Stone that Vision has wands, showers. It makes sense that she can keep him alive. Yeah, because I said in the last couple of reviews, like, why does Vision have this? Why does he still have the stone? And I think Darcy Darcy and everybody were talking about how like how is she able like they were trying to figure out how the hell is this all happening? She is was it Captain Marvel? I believe they said that Captain Marvel and in the movie that she is like part of that stone too. It's interesting. It's Wanda. Like when Wanda was introduced, and then remember she's not a mutant. It's not like she was born with these powers. Hydra implanted these powers, and they used this. Was it the Tesseract, the stone? So she's not a mutant. She's not the mutant that we know from the X-Men series. She is a kind of like an Inhuman. I saw Mr. Sunday movies review on Inhumans. So Inhumans, they have like this little telephone kind of looking thing. They put somebody in there, they put a stone right there, and they fire it up, and this person comes out of it either with most of the time with powers or not, but some crazy ass things happen to them. So that's kind of like the same thing with Wanda. Wanda was experimented and she got these powers. It wasn't natural. So that's I guess she's barely kind of tapping on it. There was one thing though. There was one thing I was like, you didn't. How the fuck do you know? Who told you this shit? Did Paul Rudd, did Ant-Man tell you this shit? Was Monica mentioning that, Wanda almost took out Thanos? I was like, how the hell do you know that? Who told you that? Like Wanda was by herself against Thanos. What superhero told you that Wanda almost took out Thanos? Or did you go into the movie theater, sit your ass down, and watch that scene? Because I want to know who told you that shit. But we all do know as audience that Wanda owned Thanos, and she almost won. So just imagine now, like her powers and shit. So what do you guys think about the kids? The kids scenario is this. So that's another thing that's open. Like they're getting older. They're growing more. At the end of the episode, they're 10 years old. So how far are they going to go? I know there's she actually does have twins in the storyline, and I don't read Wanda comics, but I know of that. I don't know where this is leading to. It's going to lead to heartbreak because now that Vision knows, I said this in the last review, this is what I wanted. I wanted a confrontation. At the end of the series, this has to all go away, right? It's all going to be gone. That means Utopia's gone. That means we find out exactly what the hell the other part, like Mephisto, maybe Agnes, who the hell she is, what's going on there. Does Scarlet Witch, aka Wanda, become a villain? But Vision is going to go back to being dead. He's technically, they say that she resurrected him. I think once this is all over, it's kind of like manipulating all the people. Once like she kind of runs out of that juice, he's dead. I still think Vision is technically dead, and I think he'll be dead at the end of the series. And that's where either Wanda accepts, because they hint at it in this episode. She even says it out of her mouth, but she's telling lies. She doesn't really understand that you have the things you just can't control. That mentality, that lesson might happen at the end of the series, or this is what I'm hoping for, leading up to all the other series, or even connecting to Falcon and Winter Soldier, or whatever, that she can't accept it. That once Vision goes and her plan's done, that she becomes a hell on wheels, that she becomes like a big ass, she's a villain. And Doctor Strange has to do something about it, because this is, who's going to take on Wanda? Who's going to take, you think Cap could take on Wanda? Because I don't think so. It's kind of like Superman, right? Who could take on Superman? Magical elements could take on Superman. What does Wanda have? Magical goddamn elements, right? It took like Fat Thor, Cap, and Iron Man to take out Thanos. Wanda almost took him out like that. So that's going to happen. Once Vision dies, it could either go to a life lesson, or it can go straight out horror aspect, which they're hinting at in Doctor Strange 2. Boom. That might happen. Vision's going to die. I think you have to maintain a casualty in the old previous movies. Vision's one of them. But my man Blade, he still can't take Wanda. I can't wait for Blade though. All right, I'm going to take a couple more questions. It's getting a little late, so I'm just freaking hyped. on this episode. It's a really damn good episode. So they nailed it, right? Like I said, they nailed it. The jokes actually worked in this episode. I love the style. I loved Elizabeth Olsen's hair all roofed up, and it looked like that Full House kind of look. I liked Vision looked a little creepy to me. Vision just looks a little creepy, but I like Paul Bettany's acting. He really sucks me in. Like he's getting me to really like Vision's character. Was it Daryl Hannah? Agnes? You see her everywhere. She's always great. So yeah, the acting is still really stellar. Bringing in Darcy, bringing in Wu, I think the chemistry was a little bit better this episode. Like I said, I thought the jokes didn't work in last episode. And then them finally just opening up Pandora's box. This is, you got to strike now, and now you're going to get people engaged. That was a good move. All right, I'll take a couple more comments below, or comments, and then we'll head out of here, because I know a lot of people want to talk about certain things, and just a mind-blowing episode. This episode. Losing my voice too. Bro, it's sad that Wanda told the kid that they need to accept Dog's death when she can't even accept Vision's. I know. It's going to either come to play at the end of the series where she accepts it or she doesn't. And once she knows that she can't maintain that utopia. What is more powerful, the Reality Stone or Wanda? Shit, man. I love Wanda. Especially in the X-Men series. In the X-Men series, and there's so many YouTube channels that explain Wanda's powers, and I watched a lot of them. Like, she, in House of M, she erases everybody, right? She erases all the mutants. How? And they're saying she's barely tapping her power here. When Thanos used the Reality Stone, and watching this episode and just hearing what Wanda is doing, I just feel like she's just too much of a beast, man. She's not there yet. She hasn't tapped to her full potential. It's going to be interesting if Magneto makes an appearance, though. WandaVision are going to be heads more in the rest of the show, because to see him leaving in, it's called the Hex. I call it the bubble. But Darcy calls it the Hex. Do you guys like Darcy? I mean, I don't mind her. I think the weakest MCU movie was Thor 2. I thought that was trash. That was so terrible. She kind of annoyed me in there. But Darcy in a limited role like this is fine. It is nice to see them bringing back like a lot of characters that you haven't seen for a long time, especially with Natalie Portman being in Thor: Love and Thunder. That's going to be great. Hopefully. Let's see. Someone said, imagine the reverse House of M storyline. Instead of killing all the mutants at the end, she brings them into the universe. That's exactly what I mean. Like I said, her powers are so fucking out of this world in the comics. Like, a lot of these characters are not, they're toned down, right? They're toned down in the reality of the movies and stuff. But yeah, she erases the whole, like, you got to think how in the comics and the storylines, how many mutants are out there, and she erased all of them. All of them. I don't care who the hell you were. I don't care how powerful you were. She erased all of them. But now she might reverse, and she might actually create them, because the kids are the key, right? That's why we're thinking X-Men might be happening, because the kids are created, and then Quicksilver, whatever happens with Quicksilver, maybe she created that too, she just didn't know it. Because you got to remember, she has, like they said, she's tapping into this power, but does not mean she can control it. She can control a lot of it, but as she grows stronger or gains more power or unlocks more power, it's like Akira. If you don't know what the hell Akira is, look it up. All right. So there's this character Tetsuo. He has like psychic abilities, and he's barely tapping a little bit of it. Technically, we all have it, I guess, in that manga, but he loses control of it, and I think you see a lot of pulp culture. This big ass monstrous body shit going everywhere. You see one eye, and like you see the deformity. South Park did a play on the episode. It's really referenced. I think that's kind of what Wanda, except she's not going to become a grotesque mutation, is that she's just going to not be able to handle all this power, and maybe she's creating things that she's like, holy shit, how the hell did I create this? Kind of like the kids, like, how the hell why are they why is their powers able to, they can grow beyond what the slow rate, like they can go become 10 out of nowhere. So that could be the case too. We don't know yet. It's a lot of great questions, and I look forward to the next episode, because the next episode is going to be the next episode is going to be a make or break for the series, because if they maintain this momentum, it's going to be a hell of a watch towards the end, and it's going to be worth watching the 4 episodes. They weren't bad, but it's definitely going to be a staple where people are going to go to Disney Plus and they are going to watch a show because they heard what they heard. All right, let's go. Theory. Tony, Vision, Hemdahl, and Nat would stay dead, I believe. Yes. Alberto, yes. I think I know there's a lot of negotiations going where I was going to call him Tony. Robert Downey Jr. will probably make some appearances. I always said he'll probably make like some appearance, like a multiverse kind of appearance, maybe. I still think they need to at least mention Tom Holland's Ben. I would like to see Uncle Ben on there, but they'll probably bring back Robert Downey Jr. down at some point. But he's dead. All right, the current universe, he's gone. They're going to bring Cap somehow, some way. We'll see what happens there. Hemdahl, listen, Idris Elba wanted out. He's dead. He wanted out. He said multiple times, like, get me out of here. You guys are not using me to my, and rightfully so. They're not using him to his ability. He's out. He's not doing any more MCU movies. He needs to be Lex Luthor. That's all I'm saying. But Vision's going to stay dead, I believe. And Nat, Natasha, we'll see with the she's going to remain dead, I believe, as well. And I know Scarlett Johansson said that she would love to come back, and they're thinking about bringing her back, but she should stay dead as well. They need to drop Black Widow just in Disney Plus already. I mean, I don't see my movie theaters opening anytime soon. Just drop the goddamn movie on Disney Plus. I ain't paying the extra. Thank God I didn't pay the extra for Mulan. I'm just saying. All right. So, like I said, I'm blind as hell, so forgive me for squinting super hard here. Theory, Wanda can't get his brother's body to bring him back to life, so she recasts him and helps conclude her's missing word with dead, making Wanda bring back the entire town. That's a good theory, because they never really showcase where they buried her brother at, but yeah, I mean, she was able to bring Vision back because she had the physical dead body. So her not being able to bring her brother back, the MCU Quicksilver back physically, she just recreated it. But like, either my theory is true that she's not able to control her powers as she grows, and she's just making things, and she's starting to lose it. And then maybe the X-Men is starting to start popping up everywhere, or somebody else is at play, Mephisto, Agnes, whatever. So it's a good one. All right. Darcy is cool. She can stay in the Disney Plus shows, but don't care to see her in movies. I agree. I do like Kat Dennings. She's cute. I like her. Are the twins going to be the Sprouse Bro? Who would you like to see be cast as the adult or teen counterparts? You know what? Honestly, I'm just not. The kids are okay. Like, the kids, they're not my main focus. I know they're a big part of the show, and I know they're going to keep growing. They're going to keep aging, right? I can't think right now who I would cast, but it would be interesting if they got some, not necessarily big time movie stars, but like maybe like some cool TV kind of stars that we haven't seen for a while. I would love, like, if they grew into old, like one of them grows into, or both of them grow into old man, and one of them's like fucking Bryan Cranston or something. Be hilarious. The town isn't all dead though. Ralph was saying that he needs to call his sister. I think they're the sunken place. I never really thought the town was dead. I don't know. I maybe I missed them mentioning that some maybe are gone, but after watching, when Vision's at his job and seeing everybody, and then you have that one neighbor who you don't see them for a while. Um, I don't think I never thought they were dead. I thought, yeah, that she was manipulating them, or it was just a fabric of her imagination. But never thought all of them were dead. Okay, thank you for the comments, Alberto. You the best, man. It seems that if they are interested in her ability to bring them back from the dead, and that's why they killed the dog. It seems if they are interested in her ability to bring them things back. Yes. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Absolutely, because Agnes was definitely like, you could do that. She didn't know she had that ability. So yeah. But the thing is, I don't know I don't know where that's going to come into play later on, because we've gotten so much information here. We still have questions over here, and I think there's again like going to explain more as they go. And you have multiple people who are on the show because they know the fans were irritated and they just couldn't take they wanted answers. They're telling everybody was saying be patient. Things are going to start opening up, so just be patient. So this episode was definitely that first hit in the nail, and then we're going to get a couple episodes where we're going to get more info, more of what the hell, like a lot more, hopefully, explanation. I think they're going to really focus on more of Wanda's powers next episode, but more of the Quicksilver case, and maybe a little bit more towards the end of the next episode. We're going to probably know who exactly kind of is Agnes, and we're going to know who the hell Quicksilver is. And you're probably going to get a Mephisto appearance next episode if it happens. Probably, maybe, we'll see. To bring back some old baddies. Oh yeah, because okay, so that's a really good one. I mean, Wanda could bring back. So we'll end it at this one right here, because this is a really good theory. So Agnes is very curious, though, like, very shocked that Wanda could bring back the dead. Like, now my theory says that Vision's going to stay dead. All right, so Wanda eventually is going to lose. I think he's dead, and when Wanda loses her Utopia, he's gonna go back to being dead. I don't think he's fully resurrected, basically. But if he is fully resurrected, this leaves fucking doors open. This might actually lead to why was it Adrian Maloney, aka Doc Ock, Green Goblin from Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, comes into the picture, because there's saying, I mean, that was confirmed, they're coming. Green Goblin maybe not, but Doc Ock is coming back. Like, all, and then if Green Goblin's coming, like, these are characters that died. So this is a great theory. This Wanda I mean, it's a small chance, but might have something to do with bringing these characters back to life, and why we get the Spider-Man 3 Into the Spider-Verse live action movie. But not only that, so bringing back baddies, those are baddies right there. I always thought, in my mind, I was like, I don't think Thanos is done. I think Thanos will come back in a long run. I would actually really like the Red Skull to come back. I've always said they need to bring the Red Skull back, especially when they're going on to the Winter Soldier and Falcon series. Maybe that's because I think this is all going to connect. It might be a different tone, but it's all going to connect. So fantastic theory. I would love, I mean, to have, if this is permanent, she's able to resurrect, and they stay alive after maybe she loses fatigue, or I don't know, whatever, that would be a great way to set up a lot of these multiverse kind of things. I mean, not only do you have the X-Men coming in, and if she's able to bring the X-Men in, then yeah, they should be able to stay, right? They're permanent. It's not a fabricate. It's not. She's not fabricating it. It's real. It's there. It's like the Monica clothing. So yeah, I mean, that's a great idea. I would love to. That would make a lot of sense with them just freaking bringing everybody back from the Andrew Garfield, because they're bringing Electro, Jamie Foxx back. But did he die in that movie? I can't remember. It was a terrible movie. So they're bringing all these characters back, and it always like baffled me. Like, wait, how is Doc Ock supposed to come back? He's dead. and then you're getting Green Goblin coming in. How is he coming back? He's dead. So that's a great theory. That's a fantastic theory. You should make a video. You should make a video so you can get the credit. Thank you for that, Ghost. They never showed the dog in the black. What if Agnes is trying to get her to bring something else back from the dead other than the dog? Yeah, that's what we're discussing right here. And Ghost, that's a great theory, man. Great theory. But it does have some, it could have some flaws going forward. You can't absolutely say that, because what we need to know more of what Wanda's powers is doing, down, of course, the episodes are going to explain that down the line. So I want to thank you guys for listening to me ramble. Super excited for this episode. I always do live streams right after the episode. So you can always catch me after the episode, and I freaking put it on right at 12 o'clock. Once it's done, I run over here, I set it up. Come join me. We'll talk about the episode. We'll talk about some theories. I'll actually start finding some more theories, see what may happen, and then we'll talk about it in the next episode. So go ahead, subscribe, like the video. Remember to put down on the comment section hashtag X-Men so you can get a Funko Pop Colossus. I will announce the winner. It's a raffle. I'll announce the winner at the end, Winter Soldier and Falcon. And then, somebody will get a Colossus Funko Pop, and he's pretty cool. I like this one. So I picked Colossus because I think the X-Men they are now in the MCU. This is a huge moment, and it could sustain, but we'll see the next episode if it's a bluff or it's a real deal in those two aces. Go ahead and check out all my other videos too. I have a lot of other videos. If you like anime, there's this big video I'm dropping tomorrow. You'll see that on my channel. So thank you to all my people who are watching, to all my people who are commenting. We'll talk more. We'll see the next episode. We'll see if they just keep that momentum. So hyped for this episode. Great episode. Great goddamn episode. This was fantastic. So this really got me going. Can't wait. Thank you guys. I'm Dan May. Good day, no son. I'm going to bed. Bye-bye.